What's going on, everybody? It's Fat Belly here. I'm here with Addictive Pizza, and we're just going to talk about everything good in the world: Pokemon, football, video games, life, working out, ambitions, dreams, hobbies, everything. So, how you doing? We'll call you. What do you want to be called?
Just AddictivePizza12. That's
You
my
want me to?
YouTube.
You want me to refer you as Addictive Pizza?
You can.
All right. Well, how you been, Addictive Pizza? I haven't really seen you in a while.
I've been really good, man. Just working and grinding and doing my thing. It's kind of what I do. I will have my bachelor's soon, like next semester. So that's cool.
There you
But
go.
let's talk about something real good right here. I just got this in a pack.
Which
Uh,
pack did you open?
it's
What
those
is
silver. I can't remember the name. They're
what
like the
is
newer ones.
what is that?
It's a fusion card for Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's called Elba Letness the Abyss Dragon. And I was like, man, this card looks legit. Like, it just looks real good. And I looked it up, and I was like, oh shit, this thing's worth $20.
Nice. That's
First
good.
edition. First edition. It's got like that different type of hollow on it.
I opened a couple um what is I think they're the 25th anniversary packs. They're like gold. I got like a red eyes out of it and it's just so ugly. I like just the old red eyes better.
Yeah, I like. I don't like any of the pendulum. You ever seen those? Or I think the XYZs are really cool,
I don't
but
really know Yu-Gi-Oh to be honest.
yeah, it that's more so what I like to look at. And you know I
Yu-Gi-Oh?
obviously I love Pokemon though too, and I just never went back to collecting it. And I still keep up with it. It was crazy. I saw on Facebook there was a video of Ash finally winning.
I
He
saw
finally
that.
became the best ever, right? And it literally brought me way back when I saw that to like probably third, fourth grade, where I'm every Saturday morning, Digimon, Pokemon, Indigo League. I still go back and watch those Indigo League ones too, every once in a while, just because it's so good. Still watch it like today.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it's might be still on Netflix. I'm not too sure, but the first season was on Netflix. And I think it goes away. Is it Indigo Island or Orange Islands or something like that?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I only followed the Indigo League when me and my sister were younger. We would just watch. Me and Kayla would watch Indigo League all the time, and that's what we used to do too.
Yeah, and if I'm being honest, I mean, I think that's how I got into Pokemon, which was YouTube. And when I was a little kid, like, Kayla, I remember she had so many Pokemon cards and like all her holographic cards. And it's like, I remember her having a ton. And I remember back like in 2017, no, maybe 18 or something, I messaged her. I was like, "Do you still have all your cards?" And she's like, "No, I don't know what happened to him. Kelvin or something gave him away or something like
No,
that."
she ended up giving them away to um her Kelvin's like little brother or something like that, and he ended up just trashing them, like just ruined them, right?
Yeah. I think
Though,
that's kind of what
dang,
happened to a lot of people.
oh yeah, I mean, some people
You
went.
actually gave me your cards. I still have your holographic cards.
I remember that too because I had them in a little blue like book with Charmander on the front of it, and
I
I
have
remember,
yours. It's all written up with Sharpie. I have the same exact one, and it's not written up with Sharpie, and yours is all written up with Sharpie. And I have
yeah,
this.
yeah, I I remember. Uh, when I was babysitting you, I gave those to you because I didn't collect them anymore, and they were sitting in my closet. I remember you just liking them a lot more, and I remember when your mom lived in that apartment long time ago, uh, where me and you we both were looking at our Pokemon cards, and I ended up trading you like a holographic pterodactyl. You had the holographic pterodactyl, and I had something else, and I wanted the holographic pterodactyl from you. And it took us like 2-3 weeks to finally make a decision on a trade for it. I think I gave you like Kabutops and Gyarados for it. Holographic Kabutops, holographic Gyarados.
I don't think so because I don't have either of those. I actually remember I kept them separate, the childhood cards from the cards that I've bought.
That you've
So
been
I know exactly which ones were from my childhood.
so many people I traded with, man.
I
I
mean,
remember.
maybe, but I specifically know I have
You definitely have Zapdos for
your
sure.
Raichu. I definitely have your Raichu. Your
Yeah,
fossil Raichu. I have a couple
I
other.
think gave you a Zapdos too holographic.
You might have. I can go look and grab it. Right, it's right over there, but I don't feel like grabbing it.
Anyway, I just going back to the original topic of the Facebook scene, Ash win Indigo League, and they're like the first time he's done that in 23 years or whatever. He finally
Yeah,
did
he
it. I'm
became
like,
like champ master or champion or some
yeah,
shit.
and I'm like, wow, like 23 years. Like, that's a long
Yeah,
time.
they're getting rid of Ash now.
I mean, it makes sense. That's our generation of Pokemon, right? It's changed, it's different.
Yeah,
So
I guess. I mean, he's gonna be retired. He's gonna be the like he's gonna be in the show, but he's gonna be like one of those like Pokemon master like trainers and stuff like that. Like make appearances.
give me like 2 minutes.
All right.
Dude, grab that book though. I want to see it, like legit.
What book?
The old book that I gave you.
Oh,
If it's hard to find, don't worry about it. But if it's somewhere, I want to see it because that's nostalgic right there.
the book. I don't know where the book is, but I know where your cards are. Yeah. So pretty much tonight, just hanging out. I got back from the casino. I made a couple sports bets. Um, I think the Eagles and Bengals. That's who I bet on. I'm gonna say they'll probably win. But if I'm gonna talk about Pokemon here, um, there's a couple cards that I kind of want, but I don't know if I really want to pull the trigger. I've always wanted the Charizard GX from Hidden Fates. I mean, it's been a really hot card for a while, or not a while, but back maybe two years ago for sure, and it's kind of under the radar now. I think, and I think maybe it might be a good time to pick it up. I'm kind of still waiting on it to drop a little bit more. I think it might be around like the low you can get maybe like 300 ish. I think it can go even lower. I'm kind of gonna wait on it, but been kind of eyeballing that up a little bit. What else have I been looking at? I definitely want the Expedition Gengar, but I don't know if I'm definitely gonna get in reverse hollow when I go e-readers. I go reverse hollow. I think you just get the better value. Um, I like hollows, obviously, but the reverse hollows look nice as well. And I think the Gengar reverse hollow would be pretty sweet card to add to my collection. I'm not sure exactly what the 9 goes for, but I think I could probably get it. I wouldn't pay any more than 200 for it. I don't know what it's worth though, but
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about a couple cards that I'm looking to pick up possibly, but I haven't been buying in a while. I don't know if I'm really in the market to be buying cards right now, but I've been buying a little bit of gold. but other than that, not much.
I started buying more Yu-Gi-Oh cards recently. Just wanted to just do it. Just think it's fun. It's interesting. You see different
So do you
cards.
like new Yu-Gi-Oh or do you like old Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, if we're going old Yu-Gi-Oh,
Well,
like
what do you enjoy? You enjoy
I
opening up some new
I
packs.
like I like the newer stuff. I think the newer stuff's great. I think that
Do you
the old
play at all?
yeah,
You do play Yu-Gi-Oh?
yeah, yeah,
I don't
and
know how to play
back,
Yu-Gi-Oh. I've
back
played Magic, but I've never. I played Yu-Gi-Oh obviously as a kid, and then Magic more as a older teen.
Magic's great. I'd love to play Magic with anyone who has a deck for me because I gave all my Magic cards to Seth when I left Texas. Just gave them all, and I had a ton of
Yeah,
them.
I had a couple decks like that were like over 100 to maybe like 200 ish range. And I left them at my friends and never got them again. I let
Stuff like that
graduate high
happens.
school, and it just you just chalk it up.
Yeah, stuff like that can happen, man. You just lose them. And I remember how I got rid of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, my original ones. I had like first edition holographic Buster Blader, which was really powerful card
That's
back.
my favorite card. That's actually the Yu-Gi-Oh card that I want to buy is Buster Blader.
And I had a double barrel dragon, like a holographic for
I
that.
have all the other ones like Dark Magician and
Yeah, see, all of
Eyes.
those, if you ever watch the show, all of those become super annoying. Like, they're like
But the
basically,
card is nostalgic though.
no, it is. It is. I'm just saying, like, the old school show, even when I was a kid, I was annoyed by it because it was just like,
Annoyed by Blue Eyes?
well, it was the Yugi would have the same old trick, the same deck every time. It got super just boring with him. So I just like,
You didn't like Dark Magician? Is that what you're saying?
he's like Celtic Warrior, Dark Magician, and
So do
then
you like Red Eyes then? Because Joey
I
always had
did.
Red Eyes.
Yeah, it is cool. They're all cool, even ones I'm
I
talking shit
think
about.
Red Eyes was always my favorite, and he was always the weakest one, which was kind of sad.
Yeah, only 24. Well, 2400 attack, but
Yeah.
there's an even better one. Red Eyes Metal Dragon, probably the strongest card you can get early on in a game. If you get that card right away in a game, and you have multiple dragons in your hand, the game's over because you can summon the weakest dragon right away to start, and then if you have that card, it lets you tribute any dragon right away to the field, and he has 2800 attack to start and 2000 defense. The very beginning of the game, you can just lay it down without even tributing multiple cards, and it's a 10-star tribute. So crazy.
Mm. I just remember as a kid running Buster Blader a lot because I think it goes against the enemies or the opposing team's dragons in their graveyard, if I'm not
Five.
mistaken.
He's got 2600 attack to start, 500 attack for each dragon in the graveyard. Awesome card going against a dragon deck,
Yeah, and
which
it
most
doesn't count
people
for your
have.
dragons too, or just the
No,
opposing.
just the opponent's dragons. So it was a great card to have
Because everybody
back in
ran
the day
dragon.
because everyone ran dragon because dragon was the strongest. Like I just mentioned, that pulling out
Yeah,
10-star tribute card in the first play of the game, that's insane.
yeah, and I had like this one. I don't remember what the item. It was a magic item, and you put it on, and it gives you like 500 attack bonus. And if your champion or your card dies, um, you you go, it goes back on the top, and you just
Pick it
re
back
add it
up
to your hand
again.
every time,
Yeah.
which was kind of broken. I think I don't know if that's broken or not, but that's kind of
Sometimes it can
good.
hurt you. If I have the right spell card, I could counter that, and you could just keep drawing the same over and over.
That's
And then
yeah,
I
but not if I just keep it in my hand. Like I would just draw
right.
it. You know what I mean? And then it would just stay in
You
my
get a
hand.
bad draw. You could have a bad draw, and that's the only card you keep putting out there. And I just keep putting it back in your hand. There are ways that you could just literally screw yourself with cards like that.
Yeah, but you just get it again the next turn, and then like if
You're
you're
talking
hoping
about a
for
monster
something,
card, right?
if you need something, then yes.
Is
But
it a monster card or is it the horn?
no, it's a magic.
Yeah,
Or
it's the horn. It gives you like 800
it's like
attack.
it's like a thorn sword, I
Yeah,
think.
it's like a unicorn's horn.
something like
You
that.
keep replacing it. I have that. It's a good card in certain situations. A good card.
So does is Yu-Gi-Oh? Can you use like did people is all the old stuff usable or no?
Yeah, it's all completely usable, but you'll get owned by like XYZ or Pendulum
Right.
usually because they're quicker summons of better monsters right away.
You heard right, JB. I'm giving away a Charizard at 200 subscribers. You already know I'm giving away a Charizard. You better hop up in there. You need the link, brother.
How many subscribers you at right now?
I think I got like 180 some.
I'm gonna watch the number and be like you're sending that to me.
200 200 subscribers giving away that Charizard. Whoever wants it, you got it. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. I guess you're just kind of starting again, and you're not. You know, I mean, I know you don't really have a collection really going. So are you kind of just doing it for fun? Are you kind of thinking maybe you're gonna kind of stick with buying some stuff, or what do you got planned for collecting purposes?
Yeah, I think it's probably something similar to that. Just starting off trying to just get random stuff first and then maybe more organized afterwards. Just keep it, interesting. And I got friends that play still, but they're mostly all in
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Texas. So I play with them online, different games online, and we collect
Do you
online.
play that Master Duel or whatever I think it is on like the phone?
Yeah, I got that one,
Duel
and I
Links or
got
something?
Duel Links too. Both of them I play still, which are great. I like the Master Duel, but it is kind of a pay to win game. You could just, if you have the most money, you could get the best stuff. Which is in real life, you could buy the most cards and get the best stuff. You go online, but
Yeah,
video games sometimes when they're play to win, it's kind of makes it frustrating when you go against other people that just have.
that just buy stuff. Yeah, it is. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess like if it's cosmetics, I don't care. But it kind of when you need to start buying stuff to like be better than the next person, that's when it kind of like gets too far for me.
Yeah,
I don't mind buying skins for items or characters, but when it starts like making you like have better like stats or perks or whatever, then it kind of is like, why do I even want to play this?
yeah, I agree, and I think they're also starting to recognize that now, and they're changing that because people just won't play your game anymore.
Yeah,
Battlefront 2 is a good example of that. Incredible game when it came out. So many people hated it because it was pay to win. You could buy your way to the best stuff, and then they changed it all, made it just cosmetic, and then they all made it so in game play you can earn the points to get what you want, which is how every game should be. Except for now, we're willing to spend so much money on a looking like freaking. I want to look like Wolverine. My Fortnite character looks like Wolverine. Hugh Jackman. People
hmm
get jacked on that. So
yeah. I know. I know people love their Fortnite skins.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
had a
people love
buddy who
their
just told
League
me he
of
spent eight
Legends
hundred
skins
bucks on
too.
it. He said,
Like, I know people that spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on skins and from League of Legends. I mean, I've probably spent a few $100s on League of Legends skins and stuff like that throughout the years and years of playing because and that's conservative. I know people that spend thousands.
"Yeah, like I said, my buddy spent his whole entire income tax check on Fortnite and Rocket League."
Yeah, people love fucking spending it on that stuff. I don't know. I don't really necessarily care about cosmetics too much unless it's something that like it's kind of like a one-time thing and I'm going to, continue to use it, then sure, but I'm not going to buy like a whole bunch of different random skins or whatever perks or whatever for things.
Yeah, I like Overwatch. I've been playing that a lot. Overwatch 2, and they got some cool skins on there, but they're $20 a piece, so it's like that's way too much money.
That's
So
more than a Dota skin.
every I sold my Dota skins, dude. Oh man, I had I sold all of it on Steam and made like $260. But I probably spent the whole time I played Dota, the like 4 years I played it, I probably spent $800 maybe, you know.
Yeah. So you sold all your Dota skins?
hmm I had this one that was super rare. Alone, it was like $40. It was uh, this like little badger. In Dota, unlike League, you have a courier, and they can grab your items for you while you stay in the battlefield. You can control it at the same time, right? So you're on top lane, which I like being up there a lot. There's no in Dota 2. There's no like I'm a tank top lane. You could put two up top lane usually. There's rarely a jungler. Sometimes there is. Sometimes someone wants to be a jungler, then someone bottom lane can usually fight two people at once, right? But top lane has a support and a carry. But anyway, you have a carry courier, and this courier was this little badger, and he glowed, and he had this like something on his back, and it was like a little sack with like golden nuggets would come out of it and stuff when he'd walk and stuff. And I don't even know how I got it from playing or something, or maybe a chest back then. But I went to put it on the market on Steam, and I looked at the most expensive one. It was like $27. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So I put mine on sale for $24. Sold immediately.
Nice.
And the annoying thing about Steam
What
is like,
about your RuneScape account? Would you ever sell that?
no,
I don't think I would either. I think the hours I put into it is way worth more than the fucking account.
I wouldn't sell it for $500. Someone offered me 1,000, I probably would, but $500, I wouldn't sell it.
I don't even think it would even get that on the market though. I don't know how
I
much it
don't know the
costs.
price on the market. I'm just saying, like in my head, I'm like, you know,
Yeah, I recently logged into RuneScape maybe a month or so ago just to kind of check it out again, just to log in, just to say. And I said I haven't logged in for over a year, and I guess it kind of tells you how many days before you logged in, and it was over 300 days, 360 days.
yeah,
Just logged in for fun, just to make sure.
I did too. I logged in probably 2, 3 months ago, and it said it was about 8 months or something before since I last logged in. I'm not a member anymore either.
No, I don't. I have a couple. I think I have two bonds, but I'm just really not interested in playing right now. Maybe in the future when I think RuneScape is kind of like a game where you go back to
You can
just
go back to it anytime, dude. It's like 64 graphics, man. You'll never be out of date. It'll always be, in my
I think
opinion.
RuneScape will always be nostalgic too, in a way.
RuneScape, dude. Check this out. Hold on. I got a playlist on music. I was listening to it as mostly Zelda music because that's what I love to just fall asleep to or relax, do homework with, right? And then this song came on, and I was like, "What?"
I always like the Barbarian Village.
I was like,
This is Lumbridge, isn't it?
"Yeah, it's called Harmony." I think this is
Or
in between leaving Falador and like going to the like. Here's Falador, and there's a turn off here to like Dragnor or
yeah, this is
Draenor
not.
Village, and you go that way, and this is the song that plays.
There's a couple bangers. I think it's one where it's like Port Sarum or something, where it's
Oh
like the
yeah,
meme where it's like a rap music video and it's like playing that
yeah.
RuneScape
That
stuff.
that is probably like the sea fanty or some sea shanty.
Something, yeah, it's
Sea
something.
shanty. That song is probably the most popular of all the RuneScape songs. Uh, I have a water pipe that just bursted in my house.
A
Like
water pipe.
yeah, I gotta call Appleton Emergency Plumbing right now. I'm not even joking.
What's
Like,
a water pipe?
like your basement has all these pipes to your sink, your
So in
shower,
the
and
basement of
everything.
your apartment, there's a water pipe that broke, or
Not
what?
in well, my basement has it is a 4 unit, right? So downstairs in the basement, somebody was moving out of our a building today, and they had the door wide open, and they had the basement window wide, door open too. And I'm guessing all the wind, all the cold for hours just kept getting down there. Something's wrong. None of it's working right now. So I just give me like 2 minutes. I gotta make a quick call.
All right, you're right.
Like for real, man. This is legit.
You're good. You're good.
All right, I'll
He's
be
got
back.
emergencies. He's got
Emergency, man. I don't know. I think it's been cold today, so I don't know. Maybe the pipe froze or burst. I
he's
don't
got a
know.
pipe leak. Go get your sewage fixed. He needs to take a deuce. His whatever his thing keeps going off, his emails or something. Well, let's see. Let's see. What was I talking about before he? Oh, just kind of purchases that I was kind of thinking of. I enjoy autograph cards and sketch cards. That's probably my favorite types of cards, which would be like autographs of either sports players or even like uh, actors or kind of just weird random autographs I enjoy, and I enjoy sketch cards of like superheroes or Star Wars is really enjoyable for me. I like Star Wars sketch cards personally. The ones if of a Jedi that has the lightsaber in it. I think if you're listening right now and you're into sketch cards, Jedi cards with the lightsaber that's drawn in the sketch, hidden sleeper. I'm telling you right now that not a lot of them are out there. I look and look and I scroll for sometimes I've scrolled for over an hour and maybe I've seen like, 5 different Jedi cards that have a lightsaber in it. That's 5 scrolling and scrolling through Star Wars sketch cards and there's 5,000 plus of the listings on eBay. I'm going to actually check right now and see right now because I don't want to throw out a random number. Star Wars sketch card tops. Actually, there's 7,800 plus. So, you can scroll and scroll and scroll, and you can't really type in Jedi. I mean, let's see if I put in Jedi. If I put in Jedi, there's only 910. So, there's in that scrolling, none of them are even Jedis. There's a ton of clones. Look at it. Chewbacca. Oh, there's a Ray. And look at it. I have it favorited. What do you know? There's really Chewbacca. There's just nothing that has a lightsaber in it. I'm telling you. Sketch cards of Star Wars Jedis. That's what I've been looking at. And sometimes I scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and don't see any. And when I do, I favorite it. But anyway, yeah, sketch cards I'm into in autos. But other than that, I've been enjoying gold. Bought a couple coins, 10-ounce coins, just for fun. A tiger and a dragon. Just I don't know, just because. Why not? Um, I personally think gold is a pretty good thing to hold. If you're gonna have cash in your house, you might as well have it in something other than cash. And I think gold and silver is a pretty good choice. Just like say you wanted $10,000 in cash in your house. Well, it's probably not the best to just have $10,000 in hundreds, but if you have, you know, $10,000 in gold and silver, might be a little bit better than cash at your house, in my opinion. I don't know. Because why would I don't know. I personally just enjoy having that safety net just in case something happens or even just something that holds the value. If the dollar ever collapses, gold will will hold because if the dollar goes down but everything else kind of stays the same in the world, gold will still stay the same. It's still going to be X amount of British pound or euros. So it's not like it's going to collapse with the dollar.
Dude, so yeah, Kimberly water. I live in Kimberly, Wisconsin, and they came by and had to fix a broken something over on the side of our road, and they had to shut the water off everywhere to get it going. So we thought our water would just shut off, but we're good.
So, what you wanna?
We
What's up? What's good? What you wanna talk about now?
well, at some point, we have to talk about these matchups coming up: Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers.
Okay, I'm confident in the Eagles, not so confident in the Bengals, but I did pick them both to win.
I would go opposite. I would say I'm really confident in the Bengals. If I you have $30,000 right now and you got to put a bet on a team this weekend, who you putting the money on?
Right here, look at
Philly?
Bengals, Eagles. I need them both
No,
to
no,
win.
no. Just one team. Who do you have the most confidence in this weekend to win the game out of all the teams?
Eagles.
Yeah,
They've proved the
mine's the
most to
Bengals.
me.
I just think the Bengals are better than the Chiefs. They're better than everybody in the
I don't
AFC.
know. I think the reason why the Bengals won last week is because the Bills couldn't do anything in the snow. They couldn't get any pass rush. Josh Allen was playing scared. He couldn't run the ball. I think the Bills they were the worst. They were the least effective in the snow, and it really showed. And I think the Chiefs they have a better pass rush, and they're going to be coming after that defense or that offensive line, and
It
Burrow's
should
going to
be a
get
great
probably
game. I don't think
sacked
it's going to be a
a
blowout.
ton. Do
I
you
would,
remember? Was it last season? Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback
yeah.
in like a long time.
How many times did he get sacked last week?
But that's what I'm
How many
saying. It
times
was.
did he get
It was
sacked the week
that's
before?
what I'm saying though. It was the
Against the
snow.
Ravens.
The
Against the Ravens
snow.
with no snow. How many times did he get sacked against the
I don't
Ravens?
know. I couldn't tell you.
Not very many. How many times have he been sacked this whole season? Not very many. He doesn't get sacked a ton anymore. They fixed that. And they were like, they had 3 new offensive linemen that had to be in this week or last week against um, the Bills. And people were like, it's a nightmare. It's going to be horrible. They have 3 offensive linemen. They just fixed their offensive linemen.
Yeah, but they didn't know there was going to
They ran
snow
all
and the
over.
pass rush was going to be non-existent.
The Bengals are going to do the same thing they did all last year and this year again in this game. They're going to
We'll
run the
see.
ball a lot. They're going to get over 100 yards rushing because no one ever talks about how good a team
If
they are.
Patrick Mahomes was healthy, I would be picking the Chiefs. If I'm being honest,
Patrick Mahomes has been healthy in all 3 of their last matchups, and the
it
Bengals have won
doesn't
all
matter
3.
though.
What do you
Doesn't
mean it
matter.
doesn't matter?
I'm just saying, like, pass doesn't mean anything.
If anything, the Chiefs' offense has been great this year, but they lost Tyreek Hill, a complete X factor.
He's been replaced, though, in my opinion.
I mean, they've
They
got
have
3 different
they have
guys
they have
that
players that like picked up the slack.
they have, and I'm not saying their offense isn't great. I'm just saying last year they wouldn't even have been in the NFC or the AFC championship if Tyreek Hill didn't take the ball and go all the way down the field. Like he saved them like 3 times in that game against the Bills. And then against the Bengals, it was a close matchup. They got up quick. I think the Chiefs were up 18 points at halftime against the Bengals, and the Bengals just came back and won. I just think they have more of a team that can win in so many different ways, whereas the Chiefs can win on Mahomes' arm.
Mahomes, yeah, I
But
agree with
the
that.
Bengals
I
can
agree with
just
that.
they could literally win this game with Burrow throwing 1 touchdown and Mixon having 100 yards rushing, and then Perrine or Perrine, I don't know how to say his name, he could run for another 80 yards and they'll win the game that way.
Well, The Chiefs are still favorited earlier in the week, so the Chiefs were favorited by
Back and
one.
forth, back and forth. I saw that. It kept going.
Yeah, yeah. Now I when I just went to the casino and the Chiefs were favorited by one, so I bet
They're
that
only favored, in my opinion, probably because
they're
it's
home.
at home. Yeah. Even though that means nothing, we just saw the Bills get dismantled at home. I don't think home means anything. Doesn't mean anything here in Green Bay. The Packers get destroyed at home. If anything, they're better off playing away.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think home field advantage is overrated, but then sometimes I think like it's also like not overrated.
Just
I
is
think
home field advantage real in the NFL?
I
And I think
mean,
the number's like
yes and
49%
no.
to 51%. But let's see. Basic statistics of home field advantage. The short answer is yes. Over a large sample size, it is documented that average NFL game is won by home teams by a score just below 3 points. What is even more telling that is NFL home teams usually win in between 55 to 60% of the
Home
time.
field advantage doesn't exist. How much did you say
55% to 60%
for home field?
for home field, yeah. Which
That's like
that's
that's like
slightly better than a coin flip, you
that's
know,
statistics through like
through
the
the history
NFL
of the
history,
NFL. You have teams like the Patriots though who like never lost at home for like 40 consecutive games. I mean, those things can skew things too.
yeah, yeah, but I
But the unit
mean,
wasn't skewing
what
things. They were at home. They were just better at home. I don't know.
that's true. They were dominant at home. They were dominant for years.
How funny was it with the whole neutral site thing? Like they sold 50,000 tickets to neutral site.
I don't understand why wasn't the Bengals Bills game on a neutral site? What if the Bengals would have beat the Bills? Then the Bengals would have had home field advantage, no? Right?
They needed two more wins and a Chiefs loss
How? They would have been the same record and they would have had the win over them. The
over the
Bengals would have
Chiefs.
had home no, the Bills. Last week when they played the Bills, the Bengals would have
Oh,
had home field advantage if they would have beat them.
well, you have to yeah, I don't know. That
Right?
I agree. There's no way to handle. They said DeMar, he
But
went
why
down.
would they do it for that game but not that game? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, good question.
Because they'll give the Bills, so they'll be like, well, if the Bills would have won, they would have had the first seed. But then what about the Bengals? If the Bengals would have won, they would have had home field over the Bills. They would have been the second seed. So it's like they don't give the Bengals any love for the second seed. They just give the Bills love for the first seed. It made no sense to me.
Well, that's why the Bengals were making fun of it throughout the whole week, talking about how it was BS because the NFL seemed to favor the Bills, which
Yeah,
made sense. But
definitely.
even before DeMar went down, I don't know what it was, but everyone basically had the Bills as their golden child. Josh Allen's the greatest thing that's ever happened. And look what happened. They got dismantled by the Bengals because they're not a better team than the Bengals. They just aren't. But guess what? The narrative all season was that the Bills are the best. They're not. And
Eh,
now it's hilarious. Deal with it. That's my opinion. Deal with it. They're not better than the Chiefs. They're not better than the Bengals. And guess what? They're third in the AFC, and they'll be that way till they win. But guess
yeah.
what? As soon as next year starts, my Super Bowl favorites the Bills.
No, the
Win
Chiefs,
this.
bro. The
Bills
Chiefs
are
were
gonna win
actually
that.
favored, and I'm pretty sure in the beginning of the season.
No, go no. I
Actually,
think
no, you're right. It was the Bills, but
it was the Bills.
The Chiefs were number two.
The Bills were the same. It was a favorite again the year before that when they lost that close one. Well, no, they got beat at the AFC Championship pretty bad the year before by the Chiefs, like 2 years ago. Remember when Stephon Diggs was watching the confetti and he said, "That's going to motivate me to win." You seen how mad he
Now
was.
he's probably just salty and wants to leave.
I, you know what? He was the only player that showed any passion on that Bills team. I swear they were all just like it was all too much for him or something. I don't know what happened, man. Like they just look
They
like a
did
mess.
look lost, bro. I thought it was the snow just
And then
because they looked like they looked they didn't know how to play football anymore for some reason.
Well,
Like Josh Allen wasn't playing how he plays. He's supposed
no,
to be mobile and like
he never ran.
make plays, and he didn't do any of that.
He
The
looked
Bills defense didn't do
scared.
anything either.
He looked scared. It
He
looked
did
like
look
it
scared.
looked like the pressure of having to win, and DeMar Hamlin's there, and Bills Nation is like, you know what I mean? Like, or like, for as
Still
crazy
a
as it sounds,
scumbag.
he went into the Chiefs Stadium last year, and they played probably one of the greatest playoff games that ever happened. And he had no pressure on him. He was like, "We got to beat the Chiefs. We got to do it." But this year, they were calling the Bills the Destiny team. Like there was media saying like they are destined to win the Super Bowl, and like they come in, and they get smacked in their mouth. They're down 10 to start the game right away, or 14 actually. They're like, "Crap, we got to figure out what we got to do." And they went back to like things that they don't normally do. You know what I mean? Some teams get hit in the mouth right away, and they don't know how to recover. They just don't know what to do after that.
So if you had to put your life on it, you were going to put the Bengals to beat the Chiefs over the
I put a
Eagles.
mortgage on it. Yeah. If I had to bet anything on all these teams this week, I'd put it on the Bengals. Just because the 49ers Eagles matchup, they're both on paper like such
I
great.
know, but the
One,
rookie quarterback, it's
we
got to
can't
be
keep saying
fine.
that though, right? He just won last week and the week before and the week
I
before. He
know,
doesn't
but
that
I
doesn't
have
matter
more faith.
anymore.
I have more faith in the Eagles offense than I do the 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 Niners offense.
Do
Yes,
you have
Christian
more
McCaffrey
faith
is really
in let
good,
me
but
ask you this then. Do you have more faith in the 49ers defense more than the Eagles defense?
not necessarily. The
If
Eagles have a good
they have
defense.
a
If they
better
can
pass
stop the
rush.
if they can stop the run, Eagles win 100%.
Eagles have the best pass rush in the NFL.
They have to stop the run. Focus on stopping the run. Make Purdy beat you. Make him beat you. Make him throw the ball 30 times, 40 times. Make him throw the ball.
You know how many teams have said that all year? Let's make this rookie like what was he on? Like an 8-game win streak or some 6-game win streak?
Do it. Make your players play man on the outside. Stack the box. Make him beat you. Simple.
Dude, they have
Do
so
it.
many great
The
players.
Eagles have good
They have the
cornerbacks.
best left tackle in football, Trent Williams. They have probably the second best tight end in the NFL,
It doesn't
George
matter.
Kittle.
Just stack the
They
box and
have
stop the run.
Debo Samuel. They have Christian McCaffrey. You can't stack the box.
You
That
can't.
coach is way too good. He'll just exploit that. You think he
Well,
can't pass? He goes, "This is what they're going to do this week, guys. They're going to stack the box. This is what we're going to do."
so you're saying 49ers then. But it's
I'm
not.
saying the 49ers are so good that they match the Eagles being that good too. So I really don't know who wins that game. There's no X factor that is maybe Jalen Hurts is the X factor because he's a better quarterback than Purdy, but Purdy's been enough because guess what? He's not the quarterback in the 49ers have never been their strongest part of their
Yeah.
team. It's been their run game, it's been their receivers catch
What about
after yards after the catch.
Okay, Jalen Hurts X Factor. Is he over or under 47.5 yards rushing? Over or under 47
Under
yards? Under
under for
47?
sure. Yeah. They have
But he's the X Factor. He's going to be under 47 rushing
no.
yards?
I'm saying that I'm looking at this matchup. There's no one X factor that makes
I bet over.
well, that's great, but they have what do they have? Greenlaw, they have Fred Warner. Those are like really fast. They remind me of a couple of years ago of Levante David and who's the other guy from LSU, that monster from Tampa Bay, Devin White. Super fast, super physical. You think Fred Warner's going to allow dude to run all over him? He's going to be spying him the whole game.
Doesn't matter, bro.
Jalen
I
Hurts
think
is really good though,
I
but
think he's going to have to make plays, and he does make plays.
that's right. He almost was an
He's
MVP
gonna
this
have
year.
to. He's gonna have. He knows he has to make plays, and he's gonna make plays.
He was this close to being the MVP this year, and I like Jalen Hurts. I
He
don't.
got hurt though. That was the problem. He got
Yeah,
hurt.
I don't think that he's a bad quarterback. I think he's great. I think he's awesome, and I think he
Who's
can make plays.
MVP then?
He just has to be the X factor, right? Because that's all there is. You look at the running backs. 49ers have just as good running backs as the Eagles, probably better, right? Look at the
Oh, for
receivers.
sure.
It's all the
The
same.
Niners have the best
It's all the
running
same.
game in the league. I would say.
The best players to run, but the Eagles had the most rushing yards. Maybe they were behind
Yeah,
the
but
Bears
that's
this year in the
because
regular
Jalen
season.
Hurts though.
I think the Bears had the best running,
And
most
you
yards.
also have to look at the Packers game. They padded the stats. They had 360 yards rushing or
Yeah.
whatever it was. That's like two games in one. You know what I mean?
Oh
They
yeah.
padded the stats hard against the Packers. So if you're gonna say they're the best rushing team, yes, maybe, but they also padded their stats hard on that game. And Jalen Hurts
Well,
rushed the ball more than any
the
other quarterback.
49ers got to play the crappy Rams this year. They had to play the crappy Cardinals. They could run all over those teams. The Eagles had at least a hard division. Yeah, they destroyed the Giants, and I thought the Giants were going to come out and actually play really well.
You did. You put $25 on it.
It just felt like the Eagles had a bye week, and we were questionable about the weeks before because, like, who knows what kind of Eagles team you're going to get, right? Because we towards the end of the season, Jalen Hurts was kind
Yeah,
of
we didn't necessarily know what
we
Jalen
didn't
Hurts
see the
was.
Giants just got off a freaking huge win against the Vikings, putting up a lot of yards. I was like, this is the time to bet. But the Eagles just showed how much better they are than the rest of the NFC East, at least. I think if the Cowboys would have won against the 49ers last week and we were playing the Cowboys for Eagles, Eagles would have just dismantled the Cowboys. But against the 49ers, it's really anyone's game. One ball, one fumble, one turnover in a bad spot by either Purdy or Hurts or running backs, receivers. Anybody makes a mistake in this game is going to be like extremely amplified because they're so even across the board. You really can't find a team that has a roster that's so complete like both of these teams do. That's why when I look at the Bengals over the Chiefs, I'm like, I mean, the Bengals have a better run
What's the
game.
better
The
game on
Bengals
paper?
have better receivers.
Which game are you more excited to watch?
49ers, Eagles. I
49ers
always
Eagles?
I'm
I
going to
think
be
so
100%.
too.
I'm going to be 100% biased. I love the NFC so much more than the AFC. I always have. The AFC is becoming more fun now because all the best quarterbacks, the young quarterbacks, are over there.
Yeah.
But the NFC to me, it just seems. It maybe I'm just completely biased. It just seems like it's more running teams. It's more hard hitting, and then also it's more closer teams. Like you never know who's coming out of the NFC. The whole NFC East was great this year. They were all
Also,
bad last year. It's
do you
just like
think do you think
the
it's the
AFC seems
NFC?
predictable.
You like the NFC more because the Packers are in the NFC, so we see a lot more NFC teams because we always see the Packer game every week. So we're always watching, an NFC team play the Packers kind of thing. Is Could that be maybe a thing where there's
It
kind
could
of more
be.
NFC games I
There's
feel like we
it's
watch?
like I said, it's probably a bias I have.
I like more NFC teams too, so
I just love this. Let me tell you this: who's the top four teams in the AFC this year? The Bills, the Bengals, the Chiefs. Uh, Maybe let's say the
the
Chargers or the
Ravens.
Ravens, right?
I
And then
think if Lamar Jackson's healthy, I think the
and
Ravens
then
would.
the NFC, you have the Eagles. The Vikings came out of nowhere this year, even though they got beat up. Like, let's look at the numbers. The 49ers, we kind of knew were going to be good. And then
The NFC is more
it's
like
just more parity.
yeah,
Like,
you don't really
you
know.
never know who's coming out of it.
Like
The
people didn't
Vikings
really
came
know
out
the
of nowhere this
Cowboys were
year.
going to be good.
You
The
know that they're
Eagles.
probably the
Nobody
play.
knew the Eagles were going to be good in the beginning of the season.
They
You would have
got
bet the Eagles to win the Super Bowl in the beginning of the season. Your odds would have been like plus three, like 3,000
yeah,
probably.
it would have been good. It would have been a great bet.
Yeah, and the Bills were like plus 600, and the Eagles would have been like 3,000. So
Yeah,
that tells you a lot.
exactly. And guess who else in the AFC was favored? The Bengals, the Bills, the Chiefs. You know who's good. In the NFC, I couldn't tell you at the beginning of this year. People were saying the Packers are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They didn't even make the playoffs. That's why the NFC to me is so much more. It's like a
Nobody
more
nobody thought the 49ers would be good either. They
no.
were a huge
They thought
question
they
mark.
were going to be a big question mark with their new quarterback. And what's crazy about that, they gave away their whole future to get this guy, right? And now they already got a new guy who they got in the last pick of the draft.
And he's
He's
been
their
playing
quarterback for the future.
good.
There's no way they go back to Trey Lance after this.
If he goes to the Super Bowl, I don't think so.
Why there? He won on a 6-game win streak. He just beat the Cowboys last week.
Yeah, but
If he plays
they probably think
horrible,
that Trey Lance could do that too.
okay, if he plays horrible, then we could probably just go say, oh, yeah, it was a fun run, Cinderella story. All right. You know, maybe a competition next year. We can have a competition, see who's better. But
If he
if he
plays
goes into
good,
this game and he throws
sure.
3 touchdowns and like no interceptions, even if they lose, he's going to be the starter. Like, there's no doubt. Like,
I
you
don't
go
know.
into the
They give
Eagles
up so
Stadium,
much to get Lance though. Like,
that's ego. Then
yeah,
you know
but
how much they
if they
back in
think
the
though,
day.
look at if they think Lance is a better quarterback, they would think that he could make the team better. Like if the team's already good, like and he's better than Purdy, then the team could get better. That's
How many games did he play before he got a season injury?
I
Like
think only
3.
one. No,
No,
I
no, he
think
played the Bears.
he had
That
like one touchdown and one pick, and then he got injured or something
He
like that.
played the Bears fully. I know that whole game because I seen it on Red Zone. I remember the Bears winning it, and it was a
And
rainy
then he
game.
must have got injured
The next
because
week he could have got injured. I'm just saying, like, how good was he in preseason? How good was he before that? You know, is he really good? All I know is that this rookie keeps
I don't
winning
know.
with what's going on.
What
Jimmy
about Jordan
Garoppolo,
Love?
who we'd all say is a pretty average quarterback, would win with the 49ers. He went to the Super Bowl with them and an NFC championship last year. So, like,
But see, that's what I
is
think.
it the coach?
Maybe.
People are like, imagine if you put like Aaron Rodgers or like someone who's really like skilled thrower on the team of the 49ers.
I
Like,
don't think that's the move though.
I don't think so either. I think, what if you just keep playing quarterbacks that don't really throw the ball too often and they just do the same exact recipe? Because guess what? They've made it to the NFC Championship four times in 5 years, and they went to a Super Bowl. Why would you change the recipe to like, yeah, let's get this guy who can throw the ball 30 times a game when they're better off,
So Trey
running the
Lance played 2 games. He had 15 completions and 31 attempts. And he had
31 attempts in two
yep.
games. See how little they throw the ball?
Well, he probably got injured in the beginning of the game. Like the
I
first
don't
I'm pretty
remember
sure he got
when,
injured in the first quarter, I think.
but
So I mean,
even still, last year when the Packers lost to the 49ers in the playoffs, Jimmy Garoppolo threw the ball 8 times. That's how little they throw. How much did Purdy throw last week? Because
he also had 16 rushing yards.
I think he threw more than
Who,
you know,
Purdy?
yeah, I think he threw more than he should have probably last week because the run game wasn't working in the first half. But I bet you it wasn't over 30. Probably wasn't over 25.
Let's see. He threw the ball 29 times, 19 completions, 214
Yeah.
yards.
Probably like 21 times the week before, probably like 25 the week before.
Mitchell was their leading carry with 50 yards, 51 yards. They didn't even
That was
run
a
the ball.
that was a weird game last week. It was just mostly
It
defense.
was like
Like
the
some big.
Cowboys just didn't do anything.
Well, the Cowboys got in the red zone like 7 times and then scored like 12 points off of it. It was
They
pretty
didn't do
wild,
anything.
which is crazy because the Cowboys had the best red zone offense in the league this year, percentage wise, and they kept not scoring. So I don't know, like what happens when that, like, teams fall apart like that. But it's hard to have consistency. It's really tough to be a consistently great team like the Chiefs right now. The Chiefs are basically the Patriots, except for without the Super Bowls. What is this, the fifth straight AFC championship in Arrowhead, or the fourth straight or something like that?
Yep.
So
They're still the team to beat.
it's like they are, but like, when are we going to start talking about the Bengals, man? I still don't understand why people are just sleeping
Well,
on.
if they win, once they win, whoever wins, that's the team to beat, in my opinion.
They won last year. They weren't the team to beat all year. And then
It
they beat
doesn't
the
matter
Chiefs.
though. The
Then
Chiefs
they
are
beat the Chiefs
consistently there
again.
though.
They
They
beat
have
the
the
Chiefs
best
again.
quarterback in the league. They've been to 5 straight in a row, like you just said. They're still top dog. My opinion.
Yeah, one thing every time I watch the Chiefs play, it's Travis Kelsey. I that guy is insane, dude. I've never seen a guy at tight end that can just. He looks. It looks like he's just like this tall, slow white guy, but then he catches the ball and he breaks like 2 tackles and jukes a guy into the end zone. And it's just like, how is this dude so good? And like he also makes Mahomes great
So,
too. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Travis
how
Kelce.
would you rate my bets then?
Your two bets, one for the
You
Bengals,
say
one
I'm
for
gonna. Do you think I might have a chance? I put $20. I just bet $20. Do you think I have a chance to win my money back? For this, it's a parlay, so I need both these teams to win. I put $10 to win $24. I need the
both
Bengals.
teams have to win.
Both teams need to win.
I think you picked the two right teams. Like I think the 49ers and Eagles is a toss up, and I would favor the Bengals to win by 3 or more. I just think the Bengals are just better. But
Yeah, I think that's who I would pick to win, honestly. So we'll
the
find out.
Eagles, like this is how the Eagles game could go. It's like 10-10, right? It's going to be a low scoring game. There's no way it's going to
What
both
about
teams are scoring high.
$5 on the Bengals to be even at half? So if the Bengals are even or winning at halftime, um,
I would probably say that's a bad bet. I just think the Chiefs start fast and that they're going to score in the first drive. The Bengals could start being a little behind, and maybe the score is like 17-10 at halftime. Chiefs are up.
I don't know. I think the Bengals are going to be up. I think they showed that they
They
scored
started
against.
fast last
They
week. Yeah,
started fast against the Bills. I think they scored like two in a row, and
they
maybe
did. They had no problem getting down the field because they scored 14 points to start, and then they drove right back down there and kicked a field goal. They didn't weren't even stopped in the first half one time. But then again, the Bills were just weird last week. I don't even know what that team was.
yeah.
So the Chiefs aren't that team. I think the Chiefs have a better defense. They have a better run game.
I don't know. I don't know.
I would think that if the Chiefs could run the ball with Pacheco, he's really a strong, fast runner. And Edwards Hilaire is he even on the team anymore? I don't even see his
He's
name.
been injured. He's been
Okay,
injured.
because McKinnon's been awesome. Like if they can just run the ball,
The
it
Chiefs
would
need to run the
really help.
ball. That dude whatever his
Pacheco.
name is. Yeah, he's been really good.
Dude, I picked him up in fantasy, and every week he scored 10 or more. Every time.
Yeah, he's been real solid for him. So if they can get him going, that's their recipe. And I think
When did he get drafted? What round?
I have
Like
no
he
idea.
was like a fifth round pick or something like that. And the Bengals or the Chiefs do a good job drafting, man. The only draft pick I think was kind of bad was that the receiver they got.
What about this pick? Jalen Hurts. You already
49ers.
said this is a bad bet too.
Is this one? Oh, over 47? Yeah. Dude, this score is going to be like, final score is going to be like 20.
No, this is his rushing yards. This is Jalen Hurts rushing yards.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. That's tough. You could go either way with that. You only bet a small amount, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I put $5 on each, and I put $10 on the parlay. But
Okay, he was drafted 251 overall. Like that's a steal, man. For a player that's showing up like that, he's better than your starter because he
yeah,
runs so downhill. I love seeing teams that can draft later in the rounds and pick up great players. They also picked up a cornerback who started from all year, and he was like a fourth round pick, and he had that pick six against the Chargers like way back in week 2 to basically put him ahead. I think that it's going to be a great matchup between both teams. I think the Bengals are slightly better. The Eagles and 49ers are so even. I couldn't tell you who's going to win that game. I just hope it's a good game because I've seen some
yeah,
playoff games this year. The Cowboys game was the best playoff game so far this year, which is bad to say because the game was kind of like it was close, but it was pretty ugly.
yeah. There's, I think the Jags was the probably the best one,
But you
but
knew who was going to win the whole game. Like it felt pretty much like the Chiefs had
oh, you're saying last week? Yeah.
just in
Uh,
general. The playoff games have been pretty bad so far.
yeah. Probably that was probably the best one. The Cowboys and
It was either that or when Brady got destroyed by the Cowboys just because it was hilarious to watch?
No, the
The Ravens Bengals
Jaguars,
was a good game.
the Jaguars and Chargers was probably the best.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a good one. They came all the way back.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched the whole game too, so
I think like now that we've seen that Bills Chiefs game last year, like that's what we always expect, like something
that
crazy.
game was crazy.
So
I'm
like you
hoping
want
for
to get
some
a taste,
overtime, bro. I want to see some overtime.
dude. If we get overtime next week, this dude they went into overtime last year. Bengals and Chiefs did. And Mahomes choked and threw a pick.
I want overtime. I want overtime, big time.
If it's overtime between the Eagles and 49ers, dude, I'm going to be so geeked because I really don't care who wins. I don't like the 49ers, but only because they have Brock Purdy, I think it's a fun story.
I'm the same way. I don't want the 49ers only because I want them because of him. That's it.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see Brock Purdy, which people go, it's funny because we say Brock Purdy, but it's really the 49ers are just a great team. You could probably put, who's the backup for the Chiefs? Henny? You could probably put Henny in there and he'd win like
Yeah,
10
he
games.
actually played decent though.
Yeah. You know how important it is to have a serviceable backup. Imagine if the Mahomes goes down again or gets that ankle tweaked, and Henny comes in and throws a touchdown, doesn't throw any interceptions. They run the ball. They can win the Super Bowl with Henny.
Yeah.
Like as crazy as that sounds, they can win the Super Bowl with Henny because they're just such a good team. They have a great roster. You're not reliant on one player to just be so dominant.
So, what do you got going on for the rest of the night? Anything?
No, probably just gonna might play some video games, maybe read some books. I don't know. I'm about to start this book right here. I just got. It's called Tomorrow and Tomorrow. It's about video games, so it should be cool.
He's either gonna play video games or read about video games. One of the two.
Yeah, that's what happens when you play as we did as kids, man. It's always
Yeah.
part of your life. I'm always gonna play video games.
Well, you should hop on again. Maybe after the, not necessarily right after, but after these football games, and we should come back on and talk about if what we're thinking right now is correct, and see how dumb we look or how smart we look, one of the two, and we'll analyze the Super Bowl, who we think, what we want, what
Yeah,
the
I
you
think
know
that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that because it's been an interesting NFL year, man.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, I would definitely love to have you back on again. So
Yeah,
I
we can
appreciate
talk.
you
We can
on.
talk more Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and stuff again too.
Yeah, we can definitely, we can dive into something more deeper too, whether it's a certain topic, or we can kind of just talk about whatever kind of, how we're doing right now. We can either, pick just something specific and kind of dive real deep into it and kind of have some points or ideas on it, or we can just talk about anything. It's kind of, that's kind of more so what I've been doing is just talk about anything. I don't really have anything specific, and I'm not really trying to be pigeonholed into something. I kind of just
I think that's
about
good.
anything.
You shouldn't be pigeonholed.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily, I'm not really, I'm not trying to get huge. Obviously, I'm just enjoying it, and if people want to listen, they can listen, and I just like talking to people. So,
Right
yeah.
on, man. All right, brother.
But yeah, should we just, you want to end it here? End it soon?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, um, I guess, I mean, we can keep going for a little bit if you want. Otherwise, I mean, we can call it, or if you want to talk about like some video games and stuff that you've been
What
playing,
what do
or
you what have you been playing?
I haven't
I'm
been
excited.
playing much. I haven't been playing video games, honestly.
I go through phases of it. I
Yeah,
remember
I
a few
haven't played.
years ago I didn't play anything for like 2 years. Just nothing. But here lately, I've been playing a lot. Just playing. I play Yu-Gi-Oh all the time. That's what I really like. And I love playing Overwatch now too. I just got into that, and it's been really, really good. It's a really popular game too. Like it's pretty big.
You play that on your computer,
I played on PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I haven't played PC games since moving to they rebuilt Warcraft. That was the last time I really played on my PC other than RuneScape.
Which Yu-Gi-Oh do you play? Kane's ask or Corey's asking.
I like the Legacy of the Duelist, like the Duel Links one. It came out like 2016 or something. It's kind of old school. The
Duels.
Master Duels is the one that came out last year, and that one is more fancier, up to date. It's cool too. Both of them are great. So I play both of them. I got big decks. I have like 3,000 cards on the old one, and then like around like 1,200 on the new one. A couple really strong decks.
What about what was I gonna say? What about that OG one for PlayStation 2?
Oh, you're talking about Duelist of the Roses or something? Like,
I'm not sure, maybe.
oh, dude, yeah, that one's great. That's probably the best Yu they ever made.
Where you got like a card when you bought the game, I think.
Yeah, Duelist of the Roses. Yeah, this is it right here. Can you share screen?
Um if you have to share your screen, you have to add the screen.
All
You have
right,
to add it and then yeah, I can.
where do I add it? Oh, I see. Present.
So it should just pop up at the bottom. Those promo, yeah, I could imagine those promo cards are worth some pretty good money. I mean,
Yeah, can you see it?
yeah,
Yeah, this is it right here. PlayStation 2 Duelist of
that's
the
how
Roses.
much it is to buy that game.
Sometimes people just buy this stuff now as like collectibles. It's
There's
not
no way
really.
they're selling that game for that cheap. That's pretty cheap. That game was more when it first came out than it is right now. I'm assuming
Look at
probably
these reviews. These three reviews.
3 reviews. That could just be
It's
the
more about the
people that are
disc.
selling it. That's just for the people that are selling it that are reviewing it.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's check this out real quick. What do we got? Just click on whatever
Buy it, bro.
and play it on my. This is I think Kyle stuff here.
He's all looking up how to make samurai armor. I'm trying to go LARPing, bro.
Oh my god, this is like when
Yeah,
you think of like old school and you're just like, this is great, and then you look at it, you're like, wow, you were so ugly.
this game.
Dude, this is what I love about it though. You see how like it has like the actual 3D.
Yeah, they took that from Pokemon Stadium, bro. They
Smart.
stole it.
Look at that Buster Blader right there. Look at that.
That Flame Swordsman
Flame
from the
Swordsman.
skull. Those are great graphics, bro.
These actually aren't bad. Like I was thinking it's gonna be way worse than that.
This is what we used to play, bro. Like
Look how many different ones
PS2.
they worked on this, dude. This game probably took a long time to make. Like how many cards there are for like how many actual like people popping up, you know? That's wild.
Yeah, go in a little bit into the game.
Oh, you want to see it? I remember they did those like chats. It's similar to
Go further in.
Fire Emblem. Have you played Fire Emblem?
Yeah, it reminds me of like Dragon Fable or something. And like that's like Dragon Ball Z, that one that's like board. That's kind of ugly. All right, you can get off this now.
Oh, look, he's freezing. Hold on.
Using it, pumpkin boy.
Yeah, classic. That was a great game. But even better than that, Pokemon Snap, man. I think out of
Pokemon
all the
Snap.
Pokemon games, I played Pokemon Snap the most.
Have you tried the Pokemon Snap 2?
No, we at work they had a chance to win a Nintendo Switch, and we got a raffle if you did really good selling. And I took all my sales raffle and put it all into the Nintendo Switch, and I didn't win it. I was bummed because I seen that they're making another Pokemon game. They got a lot of great games. Zelda's obviously incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool to get a Switch, but
Yeah, there's probably gonna be in a year or so. I feel like there'll be maybe a couple years a new one. That'd be my guess.
for only $300 now. Every time I like as an adult, like when you're younger, you're like $300, no problem. I just got one paid. I'm just gonna buy it. As an adult, you look at that and I go, oh, that's like half of rent, or that's like a bill there I could pay instead. I'm getting a game, and I just make myself feel bad.
I don't know. As an adult, I buy what I would have bought as a kid.
I feel like I gotta really think hard. Like I bought this laptop I have now. This was like 3 years ago. It was like $1,200 when I bought it, and it's just a gaming laptop. It's got all the stuff you want for gaming. Really good computer. Just a
Outdated
laptop.
now.
I don't even game on it anymore. But when I to make that decision to buy, it took me like 6 months of thinking real hard if I should do it.
Corey's over here loving Fire Emblem. I never really got into Fire
Oh,
Emblem.
Fire Emblem's so good. They made another one on Switch, or they're making a new one coming out this
Yeah,
year
Corey
too.
said he's been playing it.
Oh man, I'd love to play some more Fire Emblem. You played? Were you a big handheld? Did you play a lot of the Nintendo DS?
Myself, yeah.
Yeah, because there you go. I mean
I
that.
like DS. I felt like I played more Game Boy. Honestly, Game Boy than I played DS.
I
I like
played a
DS
lot
though.
of Game Boy. I played the Frog Space game, but I mostly played Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow
Definitely.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
I agree.
But when the DS came out, I started playing all the other stuff. And
I was playing
Kirby,
Mario and stuff. Yeah, the
Kirby
same.
was
I was the
incredible.
exact same way. Game Boy, I was mostly Pokemon,
Yeah,
but DS, I was like all like different stuff, like Yoshi's World and like
but DS Fire Emblem, man, you couldn't beat it, dude. It's just such a fun game. It's like you basically like put your it's like chess almost, right? A lot of thinking, and then you say you have like you know a knight and a dragon, and they all have their different things they do, and you just have to be real smart about where you play your characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a fun game. I think this. I haven't played it. Yeah, I haven't even played the Switch like one time. I think maybe at like the Best Buy or something. I messed with it once.
I played the Switch a little bit. Played Mario Party on it, which was kind of fun. Didn't really play much of the Switch. It's kind of cool. It's like how Nintendo always was. It's like the party game, whereas I think PlayStation and
Yeah,
Xbox is more like the solo game.
yeah. When I had Xbox, I rarely played it with anybody else. I'd love to play the solo games like
Right, but you
Gears of
rarely. I feel
War.
like you rarely play Nintendo by yourself. I mean, granted,
Yeah,
that's just me personally. I like
no, I
Nintendo.
agree. When you play this, other than Zelda, you're gonna want to play with people.
Right, Mario Party is so fun, or like Mario Kart, or remember back in the day, Mario Tennis and golf and all kinds of stuff was always fun.
Well, I just saw right here they're adding old games into the Switch, and they just added the old James Bond GoldenEye.
James Bond GoldenEye. I bought that actually for DS or not DS, 64 for I think like $9 at a pawn store.
Have you looked at the graphics on that yet?
No, but no,
Dude, they just
I've played Perfect Dark and I played GoldenEye and stuff like that, so I know what to expect.
Yeah, like a couple of years ago, me and a couple of buddies played. We all sat and played GoldenEye together, and it was just so funny. The movement, the way the characters look, that the way you aim your gun is like this. It's like the whole joystick, like it's almost like you're not moving your arm, you're moving your wrist to aim. But it was a lot of fun. So we played a bunch of old school 64 games, and it was just a good time.
Yeah. Perfect Dark was way better than GoldenEye. I'm not gonna lie, you're right on that. Perfect Dark was
Perfect
one of the
Dark,
best.
Perfect Dark is good, but GoldenEye is universal. That's like saying like the Detroit Pistons were good, but the Bulls
No,
obviously were the best. You know,
GoldenEye. The only reason why GoldenEye is good is because it had like a friend. It's like Call of Duty where it just kept going and going and going and going. That's the only reason why people would think GoldenEye is better, but it's definitely not. Perfect
well,
Dark was
everybody thinks GoldenEye is better because GoldenEye is is like
nobody
one of the
thinks
greatest
GoldenEye is
games.
better.
Bro, it's one of the greatest games that 64 has ever made.
I've I've never heard anybody say GoldenEye is better than Perfect Dark, other than you right now.
You're crazy.
I've heard multiple people tell me Perfect Dark. I can probably say at least 4 or 5 people say that. Nobody said GoldenEye.
That's wild. If I were to say like the top 10 games that came on 64, and people aren't picking Perfect Dark, they're picking GoldenEye, and I'd put money on that. I'd put money on if I we looked it up right now and said the top games of 64, you're gonna have GoldenEye on that list, but you're not gonna have Perfect Dark.
I mean,
That's like a game that you played and that you
yeah,
thought was great, but
it's
I'm talking
better,
about
bro.
the whole world of people who played 64.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Just because they're casuals, what do you expect?
Like it is what it is. You know, you had your stuff. You know, I always talk about Dynasty Wars to everybody. Right? There's a
Dynasty Warriors was fun.
on Overwatch right now. They have a bunch of characters that you can pick. Like Lubu, they have all these skins. Right? And I'm like, this is Dynasty Wars, man. This is awesome. And all my buddies on there are like, the fuck is this? I don't even know what it is. And I'm like, you guys just missed out. That's it. Because Dynasty Warriors was legit. One of the best games on PlayStation 2, Dynasty Warriors 2. But that's a personal preference. Like you're mentioning Perfect Dark. That's just like you played it, you loved it, but the game itself wasn't universal like 007 was. Everybody played that. It's like which one sold more copies?
Yeah, whatever, bro. Live in your fantasy land if you want. Mainstream boy.
I'm just you play what is the best.
Apparently, Corey says Perfect Dark is ranked 5, GoldenEye is ranked 14. So what do you
What
got
for
to say for yourself?
top best games or best most sold? Like what are we talking about?
I don't know, but
We need context before I'll take defeat on that.
I mean, I think I definitely would say I'd say GoldenEye is more famous if you're talking about just casuals, but
Yeah, that's
Perfect Dark's the better game.
I'm talking about the most popular games on 64. That's what I'm about to look up right now. And if Perfect Dark is above that, I'll take my loss.
Best 64 games, top 25. That's what it is.
All right, what are the most selling games of N64 all time? Number one, Super Mario 64. Number one, Mario 64 Kart, Mario Kart. GoldenEye 007, number three on the list. The most sold games.
But that's most sold. That's for casuals. That's what I'm saying.
I never
It's
my
more
argument here
popular.
wasn't
It is more
my
popular,
argument
but it's
here
not the
wasn't
better
about
game.
my argument wasn't about which game's better.
Well, that's
It's about
mine.
it's about who knows 007.
Yeah,
You could
it's more
probably ask
popular, of
you could
course.
probably ask a bunch of people and they don't know what Perfect Dark is, even though it was probably a better game. But you can ask people about 007. There's videos that people have
Yeah,
on TikTok
well,
played it still.
that's because, like I said, they don't even know what they're talking about. They're just casuals. They just buy what their friends buy, and You got to have the sleeper hit it underground.
How much do you think a cartridge was back then? Like a 64 cartridge.
I think like $30, $25.
They sold 11 million, almost 12 million copies of Mario 64, the original Mario 64. So what does that equate to? Like $3 billion in that game, or 300 million? Or
Hey, what?
they sold 12, it's like 11.9 million
That's
copies of
not even a
Super
lot.
Mario 64.
That's
No, not that's not a lot nowadays, but back then on the 64, if they were worth like $30 a cartridge, then would they make like
well, it's like
$3 billion?
no, 300 some million. 340 million.
Yeah, just it's just kind of wild how much money some of these games can make. If you put them all collectively, though, you know, this company was $1 billion company back in the '90s for 64 alone. Pokemon Stadium was six on the list. Five
So,
hundred
you
five
working out
million
tomorrow
players.
or what?
Am I working out tomorrow?
Are you trying to work out tomorrow?
Not in Green Bay.
I
I
come
ain't
to
trying.
you.
I ain't trying to go to Green Bay tomorrow. No,
You flake though. You never even want to work out long, so I don't want to drive all the way out there for you to work out for an hour.
we work out for 2 hours every time I work out with you, and guess what? Most of the time, you trying to stay there for 3 4 hours, and it's just too long. Like
I've
who the
been
hell
staying there
wants
for
to?
like over 2 hours lately. I'm trying to lose some pounds, trying to get down to 180.
Kyle said you're trolling for saying perfect cold. I think he autocorrect perfect dark, but he just messaged me now, even though I messaged him like 6 times on Facebook today.
I mean, he's slow. I tried
I
hitting him
have
up.
his jersey and his trophy, and I'm supposed to go to Green Bay tomorrow. So if he wants it, he better.
Dude can't work out tomorrow, but he's coming to Green Bay.
Well,
That's
I got plans though. I got stuff I'm doing tomorrow.
I got plans.
All right, man. You have a good night. I'm getting off.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I'll catch you later. It was good talking to you, man. We should do it again next week if you're down sometime. Otherwise, whenever you're free, man, always welcome. I'll definitely have you on again.
All right, man. It's good hanging.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too.